I'm walking around the city, it's so pretty, it's so pretty. What is it? Hello everyone and welcome back to final dev grasp of my game project. Well, almost final. Since the last breakdown, caught on camera, I actually made quite a progress, so let's see how far I managed to go with my semi-open world detective game Solhame Chronicles, where you look for a missing boy. I really need to stop calling that a semi-open world game, as there are two main streets, really. So it's actually quite linear, as is a story. But hey, it's just another project I won't finish, so who cares? So, for past month I had two quite big points to deliver. Create an art for city and deliver minigame mechanics. It turns out I quite fancy creating assets for this project. So much that I spent 8 days on painting textures, and another 10 on modeling. I want my game to have a hand-painted feeling. This is how I imagined it, and this is how I'm doing it. I have very low standards, so it should be easy. And instead of doing some shader magic, I actually started painting everything manually. And so I painted buildings and pavements and props. I also modeled the first set of buildings and put it everywhere. What you see right now is me painting the texture for a community center, which is actually heavily inspired by this image. And if you do not see the resemblance, then you're right, there is none. Community center is the main point of interest in my game. Well, maybe not the whole game, but the demo part that I am currently creating. When I finished the texture, I had to switch to Blender, and because I'm not a 3D artist, it was not pretty. Kids, don't do it at home. Topology-wise and good practices-wise, this is shit. Same goes to generic building set that I also created earlier. This is not how you should model stuff, so if you ever want to get hired in game dev company as a 3D artist, don't do this like me. But I am doing this for myself, so I don't give a shit. I just want to get over with it already. I'm just doing it so that I can hit the eject button at the end of December and never think about this project ever again. When I modeled the community center, I finally put it on a map. I also created interior, you know, the same logic like with other stuff. First I painted the texture, then I modeled around it. And we have it! We can now walk in and walk by and wow, that looks bad. What is it? Is it glitter? Oh, okay, so it seems I overdid normal texture a little bit, so I needed to tweak it and rebake it in Blender. Which I did, it looks much better now. I didn't do it for interiors though, and they look nasty. They look like a post-apocalyptic shit. It's so ugly. I love it. It's perfect. It's terrible for this game, but it's perfect for someone, I'm sure. Do you want it? I can give it for free. I will not fix it because I don't have time for it, so it stays as it is, but it doesn't look too bad. It could be worse. It could be better, but it could be worse. So, generic buildings and community centers, done. I had to rebuild my map to fit the community center and it looks stunning, there are no errors whatsoever. I also added stairs to the buildings that are on a slope and they look amazing, I know, and if you don't think they look well then fuck you, and yes, you're right. But I will not fix it, it's a demo version, okay? I block out stuff, I don't need them to be perfect yet. Well, to be fair, I will never need them to be perfect because I will never finish this project. Also, I haven't found any artifacts or problems whatsoever. Shadows were casted from the start, I did not have to do anything, it just worked. I thought I would have time to add textures to the street that I painted earlier and some props that I also painted earlier, but I never managed to do it. Despite that, when I walk around the city, it actually feels okay-ish, you know, considering that this is all made up of one building type. It's still not giving me the vibe I was looking for, but what the hell? I put the scale to 1 after all. Okay, let's just put the scale to some decimal. Keeping proportion. Why is it still looking bad? Why is it out of proportion? I have it all right there. It should look like this. I have it right there. It's okay in widget. What if I force the size? Oh great, now you crop it. Why? It should be so fucking easy. Okay, let's just make it a screen space instead. Yes, it worked! It finally worked. And we can now move forward to... What? Why are you still there? The minigame is not even active anymore, you motherfucker! Okay, so word space it is. I am done. It's unfixable. Wait a minute. Is it parented to a scaled object? Let's move it away and... Of course it works now. Well, at least it's not a typo. After my struggles with the most basic problems, I actually felt a wave of motivation and I sat down for 8 hours straight and implemented the whole mini-game in one sitting. Yes, I had a day off from work and as a workaholic I had to do something else. So the idea is that you find a letter that looks like a suicide note and we have a chance to actually analyze every sentence of this letter and decide what kind of letter it really is. God, I say letter a lot. Spoiler alert, it's not a suicide note. I know, how surprising, such a plot twist, but I will not tell you what it actually is, you can choose it yourself. And it looks perfect, it works flawlessly, and I am actually happy with how it turned out, considering that I only spent 1 day on it. Imagine how efficient I would be if I had no job. To sum it up, I kind of managed to fulfill the plan for November, which gives me hope I will be able to finish this fucking game in December. By finish, I obviously mean to prepare a demo version that will not be fully playable or even fun. But I will have my conscience clean and will be able to quit this project and switch to something else. By the way, I did try shorts for 2 weeks. Some of you might have noticed that I used some content from them in this video. It was pointless and I wasted 8 days that I could use to polish the city, but instead we have this. Well, lesson learned. That's it for today, you know the drill, don't like, don't subscribe, and I see ya when I see ya. Pa-pa!